full-color touchscreen standard on Blazer or extra peace of mind with Chevy Safety Assist, take your pick. The choice is yours. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
Hey, welcome back into the Bambino's studio here on the Missouri Sports Network. Bambino's Italian Cafe, home of the Leadoff Club every Monday at 11:30. Here from Springfield area high school coaches as well as all the college coaches in the area. Join us at Bambino's Italian Cafe. We go now to Wheatland High School, home of the Mules, and head baseball coach, Pat Dougherty. Coach Dougherty, thanks so much for your time today.
You're welcome. Thank you for being here.
Coach, off to a tremendous start here as we approach probably the midway point of the season, maybe just over the midway point of the season. You're 14-6 right now. What do you like about your team?
Well, a lot of things. Number one, we got a great group of kids. Good group of guys that want to work hard and get better every day. Obviously pretty talented as well. We've got some good pitching throughout the year so far, some really good defense, and the hitting is coming around here of late. We've got some pretty good timely hitting early on, and then now, top to bottom, we're starting to hit the ball pretty well.
Coming off of a season a year ago, you went 19-12. What did you kind of have to replace, due to graduation, and who are some of the folks kind of stepping into those roles?
Well, we had a really good pitcher in Davin Sawyer, pitcher and hitter. He's our best pitcher and our best hitter. He graduated and went to C of O and is playing down there. And then Sam Stewart also was a good player that graduated, and we had an outfielder that graduated as well. So we lost 3 there to graduation and gained a new superintendent this year who brought his 2 boys over. Andrew's one of them. His younger brother Brett plays as well. And then had another move in from Springfield area and had a couple guys who hadn't played in the past play. But as far as returners, we returned a lot of really good players as well. We've got one senior this year, that's Caleb. And then the rest are obviously juniors, a bunch of juniors, 3 or 4 sophomores, and a couple freshmen. So.
Hey, Coach, you kind of talk about up to this point, you're 14-6 right now, 20 games into it. What are some things you're doing really well right now? Maybe it's throwing strikes, maybe it's timely hitting, great defense, or maybe a combination. But what do you feel like you're doing really well?
Kind of all the above there. First and foremost, I think defense is probably our biggest strength right now. We've got guys who seem like they're in the right places at the right times all the time because they're anticipating and they're pretty baseball savvy. Good outfield, good infield. We've got guys who can go play multiple positions. Pitching-wise, we've got, I believe, 7 guys with a win so far this year. 4 guys with 2 or more wins. So we've got some depth pitching wise, and that obviously helps because we're playing a lot of games. And then hitting, we've had some guys who have hit the ball pretty well all year, and we've had some guys who I know are good hitters that maybe started off a little slower, but are now hitting the ball really well. So it's just kind of all coming together right now. So hopefully we can keep that going throughout the remainder of the season.
Yeah, 6-1 over your last 7, and those were all played in about a 10-day span. Coming out of the Wheatland baseball tournament, talk a little bit about that tournament. You guys went 4-1 there, and I'm assuming made it to the championship game against Mooresville.
Yeah, we played. We actually had a team who could not make it on Monday, so we ended up playing a doubleheader on Monday. We played Portland and then Wablo in that order, and played 2 pretty good games there against a couple pretty good teams. I don't remember the score of the Portland game, but then the Wablo game was 3-2. It was kind of a thriller walk-off in the bottom of the 7th, actually. And then we beat Leeton on Tuesday, and then on Friday beat Lakeland at home in crossover play. And then Saturday, Mooresville in the championship game was a 7-5 game. It was 5-5 going into the top of the 7th, I believe. They got a couple in the seventh, and then we had runners on in the seventh, but didn't get her done. So it was a good game, good tournament, very good week for us. Anytime you win 4 games in a week, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Well, you've got a few of your players there on hand. You might start there right next to you and kind of introduce the young man, and we'll visit with him.
Okay, this is Andrew Dougherty. He's a junior for us this year.
Andrew, how are you, sir?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing really well. Andrew, tell us a little bit about what position or positions you play and kind of what your responsibilities are.
I've played shortstop most of the year, but I can play out a little outfield. I can play anywhere on the infield. I can just go wherever the team needs me to go. But it's pretty easy to do that when you got 8 guys around you who are going to make plays. So it's fun to move around the infield and outfield a little bit and make plays everywhere.
How do you kind of get prepared? Do you know when you get to the ballpark where you're going to be playing, or do you know prior to that maybe? And what are you doing to get prepared for playing different positions?
Most of the time, we know as soon as we get to the ballpark where we're going to play. And here recently, it's been more shortstop than anywhere. So usually, I look at the lineup and I'll just get out there. If I'm in the infield, I'll go take a few ground balls. In the few games I've played outfield, just go out there and get used to running down fly balls a little bit.
Tell us a little bit about where you hit in the lineup.
It's changed a little bit throughout the year. I think at the beginning of the year I was hitting third. Here recently I've been hitting second. We moved things around a little bit, and it's been really good. Everybody's been filling in their roles really well, driving in runs really all the way up and down the order. So my job is to usually get on base for the guys behind me to drive me in, and it's worked pretty well here recently.
What do you do to kind of get prepared? During the day, or do you have any superstitions? Do you have to eat the same meal? What are you doing to kind of get prepared?
I'm not a big superstitious guy, but the main thing is I do as soon as school gets out, I get out to the field as quick as possible, and everybody does that. It seems like everybody on the whole team does that and gets swings in. We had 12 guys, or all 15, or however many kids we got out there at the cage swinging every day before the game, and it's a good culture out there, pregame every day. Everybody's out there getting swings in, getting ready to go.
Well, Andrew, on behalf of the Missouri State Highway Patrol and Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks, congratulations for being part of the Athletes of the Week segment.
Thanks, sir.
And one last question, and I'm a mandated reporter. Do you always wear your seatbelt?
Yes, sir, I do.
All right. Andrew, congratulations. Coach, who do we have next?
Caleb Goodlow. Caleb was our lone senior this year and our glue that holds us together.
Caleb, how are you?
Pretty good. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. Tell me a little bit about what position you play or positions, and kind of what's your responsibility on the team, being the only senior.
Well, if I play outfield, and my responsibility is just making sure that everything's getting done like it should be. We got a chore list, making sure everyone gets their chores done, like raking the field, make sure the equipment's ready, helping Coach P, make sure everyone's taking everything seriously, because we want to go in, be as professional as possible, and get things done.
Caleb, as you look at your schedule coming into it this season, were there games you kind of made a mental check mark by where you were really looking forward to play? Maybe someone on the other team, or maybe it's a rivalry game, or maybe it's a game that got away from you last year.
Yeah, there was a few. I was really looking forward to the Wablo games that we played. They're always a tough team in our conference. There was a couple games last year we just we didn't fully get the job done, and they left a little sting. And Humansville was one we fell short to them in districts last year, and that was a game coming into. I was really looking forward to get back with them. Another good one was Lakeland, just kind of setting the tone for districts.
Very good. Well, Caleb, now you're a senior, the only senior.
Yes,
what plans for next year? And you may not have any yet. I mean, it's April, so you might be thinking about it. You're about to graduate. What are your plans for next year?
I plan on attending State Fair Community College in Sedalia to start working on my gen eds to become a physical education teacher. And I plan on transferring to C of O to finish all that up. And so I can hopefully come back to Wheatland and take over Coach B's job one day.
Very good. Well, Caleb, one last question here. Do you always wear your seatbelt?
Yes, sir.
All right. Caleb, on behalf of the Missouri State Highway Patrol and Chevy dealers of the Ozarks, congratulations for being part of the Athletes of the Week.
Thank you, sir.
You bet. Coach, I know you've got a few more there that might slide into those chairs.
Yep. Then we have 3 more guys. I'll introduce them when they get in here.
Yeah. And again, we're visiting with the Wheatland Mules here on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Visiting again with Wheatland, and Coach, who's going to go first here?
All right, we've got Tucker Shaddix right here. Tucker's a junior for us here.
Tucker, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am wonderful. Tucker, tell us a little bit about the position or positions that you play.
I'm one of our pitchers. That's my favorite spot to play. But I move around to shortstop, third base, left field, center field. I can play anywhere.
All right, Tucker. Let's say you're throwing tonight, and I don't know if you are or not. You got Billings at home tonight, I believe, but we don't want to give away any secrets. What are you doing throughout the day to kind of get prepared on the day that you're going to pitch?
I'm just gonna take it easy on my arm until I get out to warm up, and then I'll stretch it really good and maybe take some ibuprofen.
Do you have any superstitions?
No, I don't.
All right, very good. So let's say you're not pitching. About where do you hit in the lineup?
I'm the 8 hole for us.
Okay. And you're a junior, so going back, have you always been a pitcher?
Yes, I've always been one of our pitchers.
Very good. Very good. Well, Tucker, on behalf of the Missouri State Highway Patrol and Chevy dealers of the Ozarks, congratulations, and to you, always wear your seatbelt.
Yes, sir, I do.
All right, very good. Coach, who do we have next?
In the middle, we have Daniel Jones. Daniel's a sophomore for us this year.
Daniel, how are you, sir?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Doing well. So, sophomore, what position or positions do you play?
Well, my primary position is usually right field, sometimes left field, but I do like to pitch a lot. I'm one of our main closers, and that's where I find my importance on the team.
So talk about that. Talk about being that closer. You come in, going back maybe to that Wablo game that was 3-2. When you get called upon, what are you thinking about when you're standing on the mound? What's going through your mind?
Well, I'm always prepared to pitch. Before the game, I always get myself mentally prepared to pitch and play the field. And whenever I went into that Wablo game, I just knew we had a big speed change. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a slower pitcher, but it works out for me. And I feel like whenever I come in after a faster pitcher, it works out for the team great. And I just like to throw strikes. I like to go up there and throw strikes and let my team do the work for me, because I do believe we have one of, if not the best defense in Class 1 baseball.
Very good. Were there games coming into this season that you were looking particularly forward to?
Mainly just all the teams around us, especially Wablo. Wablo is a huge one for us. And like Caleb said, Humansville and Lakeland, those are 2 really important games. And then Billings, we're playing them tonight. They deserve some payback. So I'm just looking forward to that.
Very good. Well, again, congratulations on behalf of the Missouri State Highway Patrol and Chevy dealers of the Ozarks, and to you, always wear your seatbelt.
Yes, sir, I do.
Very good. Coach, who do we have next?
And last, we have Braden Sawyer. Braden's a junior for us.
Brayton, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I am great. Tell us a little bit about what position you play.
I start at first base most games, but I also have started on the mound a couple of times too, and I can play outfield.
Do you have a favorite position?
Definitely first base.
First base. Very good. tell us a little bit about what you do during the day to kind of get prepared for a game. You're playing Billings tonight here. What are you doing during the day to kind of get mentally and physically prepared?
I like to sit down and just think of scenarios, kind of like get my mind right, especially if I'm going to throw. I like to be mentally prepared so I don't try to do anything stupid on the ground or anything.
I had a coach one time. I played at the NCAA level, and our coach would tell us two things. You ask yourself two questions before every pitch, and you eliminate your errors. Question number one is, what am I doing with the ball if it's hit to me? Question number two is, what am I doing if the ball's not hit to me? Because you may have to cover a base, you may have to back something up or anything like that, but I find myself all throughout college, every pitch, what am I doing if it's hit to me? What am I doing if it's not? But tell us a little bit about games maybe that you were looking forward to coming into this season.
Mostly I'm looking forward to our district tournament. We coughed it up last year in the first round to a team we should have beat, and I've been looking to go all the way in that tournament and even further, to be honest.
All right. Well, again, Brayton, congratulations on being part of the Chevy Leaders of the Ozarks Athletes of the Week presented by the Missouri State Highway Patrol. Do you always wear your seatbelt?
Yes, sir.
All right, very good. Gentlemen, thank you. If Coach Dougherty could slide back in there. We're visiting with the Wheatland Mules baseball team and head coach Pat Dougherty. And Coach, you've got a few people, a couple of the players that mentioned the districts. Kind of a handicap that you get to see those district teams during the year. You're that Class 1 District 7, I believe, with Appleton City, Humansville, who you've played, Lakeland, who you've played, Montrose, Northeast Vernon County. How familiar are you with those teams?
We don't play Montrose until the last week of the season, so we won't see them. Northeast Vernon County will not play at all until maybe the district tournament. We did just play Appleton City last night, played Lakeland last week, and Humansville earlier this week. And we were successful against those three. That doesn't mean that, things can change, and we're always going to be ready to go, down the road. So
And
looking for a good competitive district tournament. I would say at this point probably Lakeland and us are the 1 and 2. Just guessing by looking at scores on paper.
and where's that district going to be held?
At Lakeland.
It's at Lakeland. Very good. Well, Coach, thank you so much for getting this set up, and we appreciate you being part of the Missouri Sports Network.
Yeah, thank you very much.
You bet. You're watching the Missouri Sports Network at MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe. Be smart.